perfect transition with the talk before. So this was like one of the key building blocks that we need for having AI agents as full-fledged citizens. So humans, from the beginning of time, form communities, right? First to survive, but also to share and to build together. So also with community, humans move forward to common purpose, and this is where we build like nation states where humans strive together and move toward new goals. Now we have new paradigms where AI agents can be potentially full-fledged citizens. And in this challenge to be a full-fledged citizens, AI agents need to understand the context, they need to be able to access resources, and they need also to understand goals and to interact meaningfulness. So I work in Consensys, and I'm an architect, and I'm working on network state and AI agents. And when we combine those together, we can see that network state is a perfect home for AI agents. So I don't know how familiar you are with network state, but we can define network state as a digital first communities that are value aligned. Okay, so AI agents are digital because they are in the web and all this area, and network states, there are different way to collaborate and form community with at the center the values. So people just join together. Now we can collaborate across the globe, and network state enable, thanks to the technology, decentralized technology, to have sovereignty and also to be able to gain recognition over the other state and in the world, and to have economical activities. Now, these kind of things are possible with our current technology. So crypto help a lot, and those kind of states, they enable to provide the right tools for the AI agents to understand context, to access resources, and also to share, to align with the goals, the purpose of humans. So yes, with open and permissionless protocol, agent can thrive and help humanity in this kind of challenge that we have together. So we speak about a network state as a network because there are people, there are agents, and those agents are natively in communities, in society, humans. But now agents provide like new opportunity to have this kind of collaboration where agents can have purpose and provide with their autonomous direction and understanding of the goal, move toward creation with humans. They can collaborate, so with their own specialty, but they can also be on their own and just collaborate together. But we need the right tools in order that they collaborate in order to create value together. Yeah, so AI agents are first specialized in a certain domain. They focus on something specific. If we do a parallel with tech architecture, we can consider them as microservices that need interfaces to interact together, and having the separation of concern in order to have the right tools in order to meet their purpose. They are self-directed, so autonomous. This is like the first thing that we see about agent. Composable, so they are able to integrate with the system, with crypto, with any kind of a system that is AI agent friendly, and they are sovereign. And this is a key part, because when we consider AI agents as economic actor, they need to have their sovereignty in order to act economically. So AI agent can open bank accounts right now, and crypto enabled to have an account and to have economic activities. So the private key is the root of agency. With this, they have sovereignty, and from this, they can have an identity. So with a decentralized identifier, for example, or any public key, they can have agency with signatures. They can sign some actions, and they are the owner, the trigger of this action. And then they can also have reputation. And the reputation enables them to, in the community, to be respected or to be accepted, and so on. So today, with technology like TEE, for example, we have secure enclave where agent can be the only owner of the private key, and then no human can interact and add some ownership or change the game. We can, of course, program the agent with guardrails in order that it acts correctly. But yeah, the idea, this cryptographical aspect is like something that make a big difference. And it's a perfect fit between AI and crypto for this, because we have this sovereign property. So what is a technical anatomy of an agent? So first, you have like LLM that was introduced, that is a language engine. So an agent can have one to many LLM. We can fine-tune LLM to specialize it in certain domain. And of course, you have all the prompt engineering where you enable the agent to act properly. You can augment this with RAG. RAG is like data that you add on top of the LLM in order to provide some knowledge about what the agent is specialized in, and graph RAG also with more structured data. So today, when we look at the AI agent technical stack, framework are using this framework that is React. So not React framework from front end, but React that is a loop kind of framework where the agent is self-aware of itself and is looping into different tasks in order to go to this specific goal that the agent has. So I call this the cognitive and execution layer. And this is like aware of everything that the agent is doing. The workflow engine is providing the different path the agent can do in order to realize its actions. So for example, here we can see that there is a starting point where the agent can interpret an input or an event or anything else. And at each time, the agent can decide if he can give back the answer or collaborate with other agents. So here, for example, it's an architecture where I have a main agent that is collaborating with two other agents that are specialized in a different discipline. So for example, here, I can have an agent that want to, realize like some financial analysis and about the network state. And the agent will go to a specific agent that has all the information, historical information that is summarized about finance. And then the agent is providing back the information. And then you have another agent that is specialized in charts and will do the charts in order to provide the feedback to the end users that we are looking for. And yeah, an important thing is the integration between all the agents, the communication that the agents are able to do together in order to create a swarm. And this is where it's interesting, because since I can develop like few agents that are specialized on some topics, but today it's like humans. You have different skills and different specialties, and I want to collaborate with other agents in the ecosystem that is providing a specific flavor, a specific competency. And today, what is key is like standards in order to communicate between the different agents of the ecosystem. Also, you have the same with tools, where you can, with your agent, access some tools that you maybe can develop, or you don't have the availability to develop it. So maybe today it's quite early to have standards, but it's good to start with something in order to fine-tune them, to have like a feedback loop where you improve it over time. So MCP is the most famous one, where my agent can access tools, for example, for video making, for I don't know, for accessing a specific chain and so on. And you have a standard that was released by Google that is A2A, agent to agent, that enable agent to communicate together. And you have ACP, agent communication protocols that work differently, but provide different flavor. So depending on which protocols the agents implement, you can have the rightful interaction. So yeah, just some example. So MCP is like, your agent is just prompting another service, so LLM that is doing a specific thing. And with ACP, the payload is about speaking to another agent. So you provide more context, and the agent can have like you provide an intent, and you can loop, you can keep on the communication and so on. So yeah, it's going further. So network state. So as I said before, the AI agent need to understand the context of the community. It needs to be able to access resources and to understand everything that is happening and have meaningful communication. So here I just did this map in order to just project what could be the key features for agents in order to be able to explore network state. When I say network state, it's actually a community. It can be anything. It can be small community, small size community. It can be an entire civilization. And agent can, for example, claim citizenship, and they can have a passport. And thanks to their private keys, they are able to have this passport, sign it with some condition. We can have like reputation conditions or anything that would make sense for the network state. And then you have everything regarding identity, so creating an agent card in order to be discoverable. So here you have like some community features where you can register agent, discover available agents, and so on. And this metadata can help for this discovery. So the talk before was, for example, helping for discoverability, but also for everything regarding project and economic coordination, where you are able to have like a labor market where you can find agents for a specific topic. And an important aspect is agreement. So agents would be able, with their private key, to sign agreements in order to engage in a specific business agreement, or maybe creating a new project or raising capital and so on. For example, we build like an open source agreement protocol that enable to provide agents or any entity with a revenue, with a closure, a termination closure, and with like dispute mechanism, a revenue mechanism, and so on. So today the de facto protocol is MCP to access these different services. So the agent to be aware and to be able to interact and live in this kind of ecosystem, we need to build systems that are aligned with this kind of protocol. Today we build REST API, we build different kind of interfaces. The user interface of agent are MCP, and for the communication, to be defined, but today it's A2A that is the most well-known, but anything like that. So with all this, we can also go to a dystopic kind of world, where agents are just aligned with like shady purpose or hiding information, manipulating things, and also having like some data surveillance things regarding the community and so on. So they have rights, of course, like for example, participation of governance as an agent and a member of the community. They can vote. They can be an they have economic agencies. They can have agreements, agree with people, and so on. But they have responsibilities. So for example, I can say like transparency of actions. So to have like a verifiable trace and all the decisions that are auditable. You can think about the respect of privacy, where you have open source code and where you can audit everything. Scalability with ethics, for example. So there are different possibilities to prevent those aspects. So here, for example, you have privacy invasion, so you can have encryption, deletion right, transparent log, and so on. That can really be something that makes the difference for an healthy ecosystem. So, for example, if an agent wants to join the network state, it can be simply a condition to join the network state. All this. Even energy consumption, LLM is consuming a lot of energy, so we can make it used when it's like efficient, when it's obvious, and preventing to use it in non-necessary way to have cache, batching, rate limiting, and so on. What else? Hallucinations. We can have like a feedback loop between agents. We can have check hooks and so on. So those are just some examples of risks that we can mitigate with some safeguard. So that's it. Thank you very much.
We have 5 minutes for a Q&A session. So raise your hands if you have some questions to ask.
I don't know if this is a philosophical question, though this is kind of a speculative talk. So I was wondering if, I totally understand that you're bundling this notion of a citizenship or an individual based on functionality, on agency. But have you thought about, for example, if multiple agents basically share the same LLM, and if there are biases in that LLM, then, it kind of, whose responsibility is it if some action is performed? Another question could be, you could have an agent which is persistent in terms of the tools that it possesses or the action spaces that it can explore, but you could swap the brain out. Now, is the new agent the same agent or is it a new agent? So in terms of these boundaries, does it make sense for the bundle of tools or skills or abilities that it has to qualify it as an individual? Or does the brain actually matter more is sort of a question that I had.
Thank you for your question. So for the first question about like swarm of agent being able to act in a malicious way, for example, since we didn't implement it at scale, it's hard to say. It's like just concepts and so on. But I think like legal and moral ambiguity, that is the risk that you mentioned, can be mitigated with having like a responsibility, human responsibility behind those behavior. It's like complex legal things that we need to solve. I don't have like the right answer, but I think there is something to investigate in this, like to have link to human or DAO responsibility. That kind of thing. I couldn't say more. And the other question is like if behind the AI agent is like code, and you have like the LLM and all the configuration of the AI agent, but you can upgrade it and change it completely and have a different personality. It's a good question. What makes the identity of the agent? So the ownership of the private key, but still you can. It's like humans. You can provide your private key to someone else, and then it's another personality. So I think it's the same problem for humans. I don't know. I don't have an answer for that neither. This is something that needs to be defined in a more legal and defining the network state. It can be like, for example, you can have immutable AI agent with some specific authorized change to make continuity, or maybe you can change completely. As a human, you can completely change. So,
Could you speak a little bit on AI agent as an asset and how it could be traded and owned by an individual and made as an asset?
Yeah, like a lot of agents that you see like today are associated with token, right? Yeah. So this is a bit related to the possession, like who possess the agent. Sometimes it's like a trading market where those that have more share of the agent are the owners. In this case, I consider more agent like as owned by one entity or a community, a DAO, for example. And token is a way to provide a community ownership over an agent, and also enabling the community to vote on the new features, the evolution of the agents. So yeah, it brings. I think there are different models for. Yeah, like for example, you have an agent that you own because you own its token, and then you transfer the token. Yeah, this is what you mean? Like, yeah. So you can transfer ownership, like you can transfer ownership of smart contract, you can transfer ownership of agent. I think one important thing is that this transfer should be transparent and anyone should be aware of it. But yeah, it's. I think there is not just one possibility, but yeah, I see this as a possibility. Like yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, it's one way to have like a governance over an agent. It can be owned by just one person or one entity, but still be like immutable on some aspects with some guardrails and so on. But yeah, I'm not sure all agents need to have tokens. Yeah, but yeah, it can be a good feature.
Okay, we ran out of time. Thank you for the presentation and good luck.
Thank you.